Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And first of all, congratulations, guys. Yesterday, we literally caught the move for Bitcoin from $69,000 to 70,000. I would say $70,600. We booked profits at $70,100 for 2 hour. And I was anticipating, honestly speaking, that yesterday I was honestly anticipating that Bitcoin to continue on an upside till we are above 69,600 levels. I did mention that if we are losing 69,600, then the game will change drastically actually. And we moved our stop loss yesterday after booking 2 hour gains. I moved my stops to 69,100 in profits. I woke up, I got stopped out, but the good part is we secured 2 hour basically. I risked yesterday 10K on that Bitcoin long, and I end up, at some point when it was 70,600, that it was like 6 hours gains, 60K profits it was, but I ended up, booking 20,000 because, I was really expecting on more upside from Bitcoin. But now that we are here and now that we are seeing a rejection, that we have seen a very sharp rejection, basically. So what exactly, or what should we be anticipating or expecting from, Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen? So there are two possibilities over here. But before we deep dive into the lower term time frame, one thing I can tell you is I strongly feel that Bitcoin is going to close. I was wrong, and I think it's good to admit that the historical data that suggested that May will close red somewhere around 7 to 8%. Now it's not going to play that way so far. That this seems to me like Bitcoin is holding 67K like a strong rock solid bottom. It's not going to drop under 67K so easily unless some big sell-off happens or some interesting news comes out of the market. But 67K is very strong, and I'm just going to explain why 67 is a very strong levels in few. So I think May is going to close green now. As we all can see, it's very visible. We still have 4 days left, 28 to 31st May. But looking to this, I have a feeling that it's going to close red. It's going to close green instead of red. So it's going to be like the first time we will see this whole pattern breaking down. So normally, if you see historically, the trend was when March is green, April is red, May is always red. But for the first time, if you're closing green, this is going to be very different, So a lot of things happens first time here, where Bitcoin made new all-time highs before halving, dumped, and now we are just going in a sideways rotation since halving. Chopping between $56,000 and $72,000. That's now our bigger range that we are having for Bitcoin. So a lot of that $15,000 to $16,000 range is a bigger range that we are having at this moment. So what exactly are we anticipating next? Now, before we go down into that, move that, what should we be expecting? 100K from here we should be expecting, or we should be expecting any sort of a week of accumulation or distribution pattern that a UT is going to form, and later we will see a massive dump on Bitcoin back towards the daily support of 59,250 levels. What exactly is going to happen? So this was our plan on the midterm, guys. This is the midterm scenario. I still expect Bitcoin to sweep up the highs, make new all-time highs, go towards 74,000 to $75,000, anywhere in between. Max, it can go to $77,000. Max, I would like to see it max topping out around those levels. And from there, I would like to see 5 waves on the downside. This is the 5 waves I'm watching. Now, not necessarily that the 5 waves should take it down to 52,000. It can be a running flat. So practically, we can just chop it around here like this, and maybe we can just find a bottom somewhere around here. $59,000 would be our bottom in case of a truncation. So ideally speaking, I am bullish on midterm time frame that I am expecting still a new all-time highs on Bitcoin, which is a most favorable scenario according to me. I still expect Bitcoin to, because just try and understand psychologically. Right now, people are literally buying every dip. 67K we are buying, 68K we are buying. So the best is, because everybody wants 100K. So what we are just gonna do is run up turbo, go to 74,000, 75K, just make new all-time highs, sweep up the highs and reject, dump on everyone's face, liquidate everyone in a single candle. It's gonna be like a flash move on the downside. And that's gonna be very, very wild in my view. The way we have seen a similar sort of a 20% move on the downside or a 15% move on the downside, a same sort of a move we can expect, after making new all-time highs in my view from the Bitcoin perspective, because this is like a bigger range accumulation that what I'm watching right now. The invalidation levels for this upside, the new all-time highs is $65,500. Anything under 65,500, and this is going to be your top. Your top is in at 0.886 Fibonacci levels, which is sitting around $72,000. Now, how 0.886? You draw the fibs from the highs to the lows, and you will find an exact retracement levels where Bitcoin rejected was around 886 Fibonacci levels of the whole range. You see a perfect 886 over here around 71,925. So practically this can be even top as well. Over here the top might be in, and this might not be 5As, but this might be something like A, B and C on an upside. Possibility is always high, and hence whatever we trade keeping in mind the invalidation levels. The invalidation levels for an upside is 65,500 on Bitcoin. Now, when will we be buying on the lower term time frame? Let's say if you're going or moving on an upside, we should be pumping up to 75. Why are we not buying? Yes, now we will go check down our lower term time frame once we are done with this mid-term time frame. So this is our scenario that we are having on Bitcoin. Now, just to facilitate, just to add more confluence to this scenario, I'd like to add wick off accumulation pattern, which is also known as a W pattern. So if you look at here, we have a wick off. This is almost similar to what I drew. This wick off suggests that we need to push up one more time. As you can see here, we have the wick off chart. We did a sow in phase B, and we are currently on our way to do a UT. As you can see, a UT is normally what happens. A UT is like a swing failure pattern, or the price might just get acceptance above the previous all-time highs of $73,000, and it just stays there, accumulate, chop, trap everyone, and then we start making dumping to the AR levels. Our AR is currently sitting at May opens or a monthly levels of $61,288 levels. That's where our AR is, So that is where, we are likely going to test it. A little bit choppiness is going to happen. And after that, another new all-time highs for Bitcoin to UT80, pumping up towards $85,000, anywhere between $81,000 to $85,000. So $85,000 would be achieved by Bitcoin, and that is going to be your also a nicely drawn 3 drive pattern top for Bitcoin. 3 drive. That's going to be a 3 drive top for Bitcoin. Bearish divergence on the daily, bearish divergence on the weekly, bullish divergence on the weekly for USD dominance, bullish divergence on the daily for the USD dominance, and everything is going to top out. And that's where the market should start toning down. Overall, that we should be looking for some nasty move on the downside for all the markets going back into September, after which we will see a very nice recovery rally. Now, not necessary that the new all-time highs should happen itself in the month of July or August. We might be just, chop around here in June, July. Alts will do very nice. If we literally Bitcoin goes sideways, alts are going to do really, really nice. That's where a lot of money would be made, because Ethereum is almost at those levels where, you know, it's going to reach those levels. I'll come back to Ethereum as well. We will reach those levels after which a 20% downside is very, 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 very much going to happen for ETH. 20% dump. I'll show you. But for Bitcoin, I mean, just don't go with my timeline. This might literally take a little bit more time. Maybe, you know, we can just bottom around September, more sideways till August and September. Maybe even we can bottom in August, and then we start slowly moving back up in September again. You know, in October we make new all-time highs. Again, November slight dump, December choppiness, and then, you know, 2025 begins with a massive move on the downside, like a big dumping towards the 2023 highs of 45,528. So, you know, I mean, this is exactly the plan. I mean, we are likely going and entering into a phase where the price is going to stay flat, or we're just going to have a range bound effect. And that's where I would suggest each and every one of you to just play more and more spots by the levels. I mean, today morning, as I woke up, I saw Bitcoin was around 67,800. I immediately bought it, honestly, and I slept again because I prayed. And then I was like, okay, I know I have bought it, but I was like, it can literally go down to 67K or maybe even $66,000. It can literally go down so that I can give you as well. So I would be just simply buying the spots and chill every 3-4% move, make money and exit, because the liquidity is really good in Bitcoin. You can buy as much as you want. You can buy up to millions, you know, you can buy up to 10 million, 20 million easily on Bybit, as well as you can buy on Binance as well, the spot bags, you know, and you can sell off easily as well with the help of bots. So this is really, really good, you know, plan for Bitcoin in my view. And you just have to have patience for the midterm. But let me tell you, once Bitcoin make new all-time highs and in a swing failure pattern, just exit the market. Whatever else you have, exit. Whatever you bags you have, exit. And wait for Bitcoin to start moving down towards back to. And I'm honestly very much interested in shorting Bitcoin. I also gave Ethereum short limits, if you remember, yesterday, but I cancelled it. I'll tell you why. And I do believe that is the perfect short opportunity for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. And that is going to be your top for Ethereum, local top. I'm damn sure. My fib never lies. I'll explain you the levels as well. So this is the midterm time frame plan for Bitcoin. It's still same, no changes. I'm still expecting new all-time highs. Now the invalidation level is 65.5. Once we go under 65.5, the plan changes and Bitcoin is going to dump back down to $52,000. And then this week of accumulation is not going to play out, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's move on to the lower term time frame. Lower term time frame, if you look at here on the Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, let me just probably clean the chart for you so that a lot of things might just probably feels messy. If you look at here on the, let's go to the 2 hours time frame, not even 1 hour. Perfect. If you look at here, what I'm watching is Bitcoin is likely forming a triangle actually. Very interesting triangle. So that's your wave 1, 5 waves on an upside, wave 2, ABC. And we are in, you know, this is normally your wave 3. And that's your triangle that is forming. Or maybe, you know, a wave 4 can even go for, you know, a flat correction, which is going to be around 65.6, 65.5. And then push up to make new all-time highs, 5th wave. And later, you know what's going to happen next. So practically, we are still in a wave 4 is what I feel. And we are in a triangle. And I don't think we should be afraid of. So, you know, I still feel that we are bullish. Now, there are 2 ways. As I mentioned, either there is a triangle or we're going to dump down one more time, sweep the lows here, go down to previous month equilibrium of 65,824, reclaim the previous week value area low, and then we start running up. That can also a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. So every wave 4 is normally going to be very, very tricky. The wave 2 was tricky. It tricked a lot of people, including myself, because you know, this ABC, the shallow ABC, I've never seen sort of a shallow ABC. That's what tricked me actually. So that your wave 2 or maybe wave B, and that's what your wave 4 is. Either it is in, the bottom is in for the wave 4. This is your bottom. 66,368 is your bottom, or we are likely going to see one more move down, a sweep of the lows towards $66,000 and 65,800. But we should not be losing the $65,500 levels at any cost. I mean, I really don't want to see Bitcoin losing that levels. Once it lost, game over, top is in. And probably even it might be true that we are literally going to dump by end of the month, dumping back under $60,000, and maybe just, we close under like $59,000, $58,000. There's always a probability then, but for now it's look bullish to me. Till we are above 65.5, we are bullish. So on the lower term time frame, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly are we going to play, and how exactly are we going to play? Ultimately, right now, if you see here, let's talk about the triangle first. If you see, there are two possible wave counts over here. That's like a wave 1, let's say wave 2 here, wave 3 with a, like this, and wave 4 and wave 5. Let's say this is the 5 waves, which I really don't think so. These are not 5 waves. In my view, I'm watching this whole move as some sort of a wave A, wave B over here, and wave C. A shallow wave 5. This is wave C. And the sharp move on the downside, wave A, another wave A, a sharp move on an upside, wave B, and then one more move on the downside, wave C, like here towards 786 Fibonacci level, 67,264. And followed by a sideways move, reclaiming the $68,400, and then we look for a breakout. This is what I would like to see normally on the lower term time frame. So how are we going to buy, ladies and gentlemen, or what are we going to play? Simple. Remember the number 69,138.5. BTC reclaim that levels on H1, we buy. Bottom is in, we buy. So if you just remember it, our scalp that we took yesterday as well, we literally took around 69,040 here with our stop 68,800. Very tight stop loss. But today, in case if Bitcoin literally reclaims the 69,138, yes, we will do the same with a very similar stop loss of 68,800, and a take profit target would be the new all-time highs, which would be around $74,000, maybe even 75,000, which is going to give us 14-hour setup, 1-4, which means that if you are risking $100 just, you can make $1,400 with just 7% move on an upside. If you are risking 1% of your overall capital or of your overall portfolio, you can make 14.5%, on this trade, and your profit portfolio can grow by 14.5%. By simply, even if Bitcoin grows 7%, you can make 14.5%. Just imagine. So that's the trade I'm waiting for Bitcoin. Just flip 69,138 and we're just going to go again in the Bitcoin. Because I feel the triangle is very, very valid. So that's the plan. In case if Bitcoin loses the previous week value area low of 67,464, which we literally bounced from, this is the levels, as you can see, 67,464, and that's where we also had liquidity pool of 702 Fibonacci levels. If we reject again this white line, we can have one more move on the downside, just like this, and we can roar back up and can do something like this. So that is also a possibility. So let's see if Bitcoin can give us 67,264 to 67,100. I would be very, very happy to take some very high risk scalps on Bitcoin from the lows, actually, here, with a very tight stop loss. If we give one, very tight. I won't even wait for the lows. I would simply just do here 0.9%, and I would be waiting for it to break out and just look for an upside. Even that can give us 11-hour setup. So just imagine, even if you want to catch a bottom, can give you 11-hour, and then we can compound more once it flips 69,000. What are the profits we made here? We can compound, and that 11-hour can literally give you 30 to 35-hour setup overall. That's how you can play the compound game, actually. So that's my plan. I think the triangle is very, very valid, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't have any other scenario for Bitcoin. The bear case scenario for Bitcoin would only be that, this move is A, B, C of some sort. Let's say A, B, C over here. And The move that we are getting right now is wave 1 of something, A, B, C, wave 2, chop, chop, chop. Wave 3 is going to be a little bit sharper, wave 4, and we can literally go down to $65,000, which is likely going to be an end of a wave 4. And because if we go back under 65.5, that's literally going to invalidate my wave 4. I mean, I don't want it to go under 65.5, honestly speaking. So that is going to be like that. This is your top for Bitcoin. This is your top. And we are going now, literally going to retrace the whole move down to May opens. Even not only May opens, we will go back down to sweep the lows back under $56,000. Practically that how bigger the move would be and the overall market move would be at that point of time. But I really don't see that move to happen from here. And why? Why? Because the structure is good, structure is holding. If you look at the USD DOM, we are still under a resistance. The resistance is here, I mean, around 4.69. And whatever the move we are watching right now, I feel that USD dominance on the lower term time frame. I mean, just look at the lower term time frame as well. Whatever you are interested to watch, look at here on the 1 hour time frame. I'm just going to delete the arrow for 1 minute. Whatever you want to see, look at here. A, B, C. 1, 2, or maybe another sort of A, B, C. And that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. One more push up for the wave 5. Okay. And that's going to be your wave, you know, some sort of a wave 1 or a bigger irregular expanded flat. Wave B, we can have one more push up like a double top sort of thing, you know, and then we can just dump down to 4%. So practically we are just forming a range on the USD dominance. And this is what we have seen previously as well. More the choppiness, more the wave 4, you know, chop is going to literally kill the liquidity in the market, literally going to wreck many people actually. That's the range highs, dot, dot, dot. So we sweep the range lows, maybe irregular expanded flat. We go for here like this, and then we go for 4%. This is how it can do, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very high likelihood as well for doing. So practically speaking, I personally feel that Bitcoin can literally move on and upside. So once we go above 69.1, we should definitely be buying it. So that is the trade that we will take it, guys, which perfectly goes with the USD dominance plan, you know. And we have seen a very similar sort of setups coming out of USD dominance, a range setups, you know. We have seen it historically. Let me show you. See, this was a dump. Practically this was the dump and a range formation, A, B, choppiness, C, sideways, and then further dump happened. They're like a very small scale actually. A similar sort of a thing is also I'm expecting here on Bitcoin. So practically you already got a dump. You a little bit just need a, you know, sideways correction, or maybe just sweep up the highs one more time, double top, and then dump down to 4%, maybe on 3.64%. It all depends. 3.64% is literally going to trigger the biggest alt season you have ever seen. Alts are going to go mad actually. It's going to be like a money making season, no sleep season. Just whatever you want to buy, you buy it. That's what it's going to give you actually. Everything is going to pump one last time, as I mentioned. So, you know, right now I think USD dominance is literally forming a range. It's in an accumulation zone. So I think personally Bitcoin is bullish. There is nothing to be bearish about on Bitcoin, honestly speaking. On the lower term time frame, if you look at for the 15 minutes chart, I do think if you really want to scalp it, I can just probably scalp it here for Bitcoin with a very tight stop loss, very tight. I mean, you can just probably long here, honestly speaking, with a very tight stop loss under $68,000. You can long here at 68,509. You know, and DCA around 68,390. So I took a long, and we can, you know, probably look for 1.5 hour gains around 69,138. And just in case 69,138 flips, we can look for the previous week POC to target around 69,793. So that would be the target then. That's a very interesting scalp, you know, you can get for the Bitcoin. So just manage your risk, guys. Take it slow. We made 2 hour, so I'm just risking, you know, $1,000 on this scalp. Made 20k yesterday, more than that on that scalp. So I'm just risking a little bit of what we made yesterday, because this scalp, I mean, 1k can literally give me my 3k, you know, if we literally play it out. If not, then I will lose 1k, that's all. But that's what you should be risking as well. I think this is a very interesting support, you see. 68,480 is a good support, and we are just holding that support. So it's a very good, you know, levels for Bitcoin to retest the 69,131 levels. It can give you 1.5 hour. If it goes there, I'll just book 40%, and because that's gonna secure my 0.6 hour, and then it's gonna move my stops at break even. You know, that's what I would do. So practically speaking, ladies and gentlemen, I think for now, I think my plan is this. I'm bullish. I really don't need to be bearish about anything on Bitcoin. We will be very bearish once it starts losing 65.5. So, you know, that's what I would do actually. Overall, I think there is a bear case scenario. As I mentioned, I've already shown to you on the lower term time frame that this whole structure is some sort of ABC, and we are just started a bigger dump on the market, and we are just going to reach at 69.1, gonna reject and maybe dump down back towards 65.5, 65.8, anywhere from there. So that's also a possibility. For now, I think my preferred scenario, what I'm gonna play is this triangle. Yes, the triangle might not complete. It might go one more down, as I mentioned, towards 67,264 to $67,100. It can go there, never mind. But overall, this triangle is still a valid one. Talking about Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bullish on Ethereum very much, very much bullish. So if you look at here, you got a wave 1, you got a wave 2, you got a wave 3, new all-time highs. That might be the wave 4. One more push up for the wave 5. Normally we should be going the wave 5. Can be an extended wave 5 towards 4130, 4131. And from there, I'm expecting a bit Ethereum to dump down back towards 3,680. And we are likely going to form a very interesting range the way, you know, Bitcoin did. Another like this, and chop. And that's what the bigger range for Ethereum would be at that point of time. So I'm expecting a dump from 4,000, anywhere from 4,070 to 4,130. But the exact number is 4,130 for a minimum move of 11.8% on the downside. And later, it's going to dump back down towards 3,400, giving us a very interesting 17% move on the downside. But practically, if you just want to play 10% move, 11% move, yes, that's a very good levels for ETH. Remember, when Bitcoin ETF was approved, Bitcoin literally dumped 15%. Yes, that's right, after making the highs. Practically, this is where Bitcoin ETF got approved. Sorry, the daily time frame we are watching here. This is where Bitcoin ETF got approved, you see. And how much we dumped? 21% if you remember. If you draw the fibs from the previous highs, we were in an uptrend, and to the lows over here, you will see we rejected from the 1414 Fibonacci levels, and we literally went down towards we went up to, no, it was supposed to be 1414. Okay, it went between 1414 and 1618, and then we rejected back down, you know, or we dumped actually to 21% move on the downside, sweeping the lows, this low actually, you know, this lows. So similar sort of a move I'm expecting for ETH as well, because if you look at from the daily perspective, forget about 4 hour, 1 hour, whatever we are watching. Ethereum ETF got approved and is going to, what I'm expecting here is, I'm just going to delete this for an instance. But what I'm watching is 5th wave actually. So that's your wave 1, that's your wave 2, that's your wave 3 over here, wave 4 slightly, and then wave 5, something like this, and then a massive move on the downside to 3580. So if you draw the fibs from the highs where we started and to the lows, 4130 to 4216 is where we are likely going to bottom. We are likely going to top out. We can go even slightly above 4216, maybe 4260 or so, but overall this is going to be our top. One more slightly move down, and from there I'm expecting it to sweep this lows. We will go and retest the levels of 3379 and our push up from there towards back to 3900. So practically this is what I'm expecting for ETH, guys. You can just take the screenshot of this chart and you can remind me later on where we rejected from 4200. Anywhere from 4129.6 to 4216 is going to be my short zone for ETH. And if you really want to elongate, for 3785 to 3785 to 3730 is a best levels for us to long ETH from there, riding back to 4130 to 4216. So that's what I'm expecting for ETH. I expect one more push up. So if I expect one more push up for Bitcoin, yes, similarly I expect one more push up for ETH as well. Okay, I hope you guys got filled for the quick scalp actually I'm taking. It literally went down till 68,457. Overall, it's good, pretty much. I think 69,138 would give us 1.5 hour setup. If it went there, solid it would be. Yesterday, my Floki just literally went close to my entry on 15 minutes. Just imagine how close it was. Look at here. So missed it actually. And it pumped up. I'm so pissed off. Did almost 20%, 18% move, and it's just gonna make new all-time highs. It's gonna give a 25% move. I mean, we would have made, a very interesting $120 to $130 for our challenge trade. So missed it, guys. So feeling bad about it. And our RNDR is also not. I mean, I would say it's underwater. The spot trade is underwater. And it's still holding the channel. $10 is holded, so I'm quietly bullish on it. RNDR, my plan for RNDR is still same. We are holding the spot bags for the challenge trade. I'm expecting RNDR to do something like this here, reclaim it, and go up to 10.6. Maybe even flip it, then we will go 11. But at least 10.6 is what I'm aiming for. So overall, guys, that's the plan that we have. Solana is looking very, very good. I think it's forming a very interesting inverse head and shoulder here, as you all can see, So once I think we are flipping up these levels of 170, once we flip up, you can long it. And I do think Solana can go back up to, my target of $189 to $200. Because I see this move on Solana is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Unless we start losing 160, then we have a problem. So we have a very tight stop loss to play. Just wait for it to flip, and you can just simply buy. BNB, I'm still waiting so patiently for it to break out. I won't get trapped, honestly, because honestly speaking, I just want BNB to flip $618 just to give us a good breakout with the volume. Once it breaks out, I will give you a buy call or a spot back call for BNB, because it can give us easy 18-20% gains, and we can go for a new all-time highs for, and maybe even $850 to $890. But for now, I just have to wait patiently for BNB. Now, talking about overall total crypto market cap, I still feel that it's bullish. I'm still expecting it to go towards 2.94 to $3 trillion. And from there, we will see some nasty rejection. Similarly, total 2 is also going to see one more push on an upside towards 1.22 to 1.25 trillion dollar. It's on the way. One more push is pending in my view. Total 3, interestingly, for the first time, I'm seeing total 3 got a 2 consecutive closure above equilibrium. I mean, it can literally indicate that there is a hope that alts can literally do a catch up, meaning money will slowly rotate from ETH to L1s, L2s, because memes are already doing great since this whole year, start of the year. This is going to be year of, 2024 is mostly the year of memes actually. It's not AI, it's nothing, but it's memes actually. So memes are already doing great. Pepe is also going to my target. Floki is going to go big. And my target for Floki, I just wanted to just fill me one more time before it pumps up to 486946. I mean, you can imagine 90% move on an upside. Looking to Pepe. Pepe is in my short zone, guys, honestly speaking. But I just gonna wait a little patiently because it just finished its whole, bigger, I would say, 5 waves. So patiently, I'm gonna wait for it. Excuse me. If you look at here, we also went towards 1414 and 1618. You can see. So that's I'm still expecting to go towards 1990, the range highs. Maybe you can just look at here. The chart I have on Bybit or Binance. Yep. We are in my sell-off zone. 1414, 1618, and max it can even go for the range highs towards 30397. But remember, after this move, we are going to see a bear market for Pepe. I mean, whatever you wanted from here or anywhere, we are going to see 80 to 90% move on the downside for Pepe, maybe even 93% move on the downside. So that's going to be another bear market for Pepe actually. That's something we have to be prepared for mentally. Now, I'm not sure what Bonk is going to do or what Bohm is going to do, but they both are very much overvalued in terms of if you compare with Dodge or if you compare with, Pepe. Both are very much overvalued and they are very much new in the market. And then I feel, any new alts is going to go with the first cycle. And normally it rejects and then it is going to go for another big cycle actually. So I do think, Pepe, Floki is going to follow Pepe for sure in my view, and that's what we are buying. Dodge, ladies and gentlemen, Dodge is, if you look at here on the Dodge on the weekly time frame, one thing you can understand is the move that we got here on the downside was your 3 waves, and then again the move that we got was 3 waves, ABC, another 3 waves. So practically speaking, I think Dodge is undergoing a bigger accumulation. A lot of people might tell you that, hey, Dodge is going to have flipped this 15933 level support. This is flipped. As you can see, we are flipping, we are flipping. So when it is flipped, normally people will tell you that, hey, Dodge is going to 1.2, maybe 1.6, something like that. Always a possibility. I'm not denying any fact. But if you look at from the structure perspective, I personally believe that, Dodge is likely doing ABC. And we are still in, a 1-2-1-2 of wave C. Here. So my target would be 1618. That would be my target. And an extended target can be, 2 Fibonacci level instead of 1. So that's where your 2 Fibonacci levels can come. 2. Yep. So if you look at here, I'm seeing Dodge as A, B, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your wave 3, 4. And that's your wave C. 34 cents is max I would like to see Dodge doing. Which also means that 34 cents is still 100%, more than 100% from the current price actions. 16 cents to 30 to 34 cents is like 100%. So yeah, that is a possibility. That move is a possibility. So practically, you know, this is wave 1, 2. This is going to be your wave 3. Wave 4 is already in, and we are going to see wave 5. Ideally, it should be around 26, 27 cents, but an extended wave 5 can take it around 34 cents. So we have 25 cents as a strong resistance, 25, 26 cents as a strong resistance. So that is going to be our first big resistance for Doge here. And if it flips that, we can go for 34 cents. And from there, I would like to see a rejection, come back down, maybe another retest of 0.029, a bigger bear market for Doge actually. So that's what my plan for the Doge. I think I'm really bullish on Doge, but bullish in the sense a minimum push you can expect till 25 cents, max 34 cents. And in case if this is like it goes for a bigger irregular expanded flat the way Bitcoin did, then it can go up and make new all-time highs, and then we start another bear market for Doge like this, you know, like this. So that's gonna be like a normal irregular expanded flat. So that's your range. That's your range actually. That's what we're gonna play. But for now, I think I'm expecting max to do around 34 cents. I don't expect to go beyond 34 cents, honestly speaking. So that's what I have for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I have for ETH. That's what I have for the overall market. We just have a little bit patience. Another trade is going to come very, very soon. We see what it probably brings to us. 69.1 flip. We are going back again. We can make really good money with a very high, you know, I would say risk reward trade play. For now, it's in a middle of no trade zone for me, but we can scalp it, of course, as we did right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have for today's stream. And if you like the video, please press the like button and share it with all your friends. If you have any queries, do ask me. You just ask me actually. Okay. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Take care.